Hello, everyone from Mosswood, Meltdown in Oakland, California. We are Psyched Radio San Francisco, and we are here talking to the Rubinoos. I'm Scarlett, and you are?
Tommy.
John.
What an honor to be here with you. 1970s Berkeley power pop legends. Can you tell me a little bit about Berkeley in the 70s?
Berkeley had a little bit of radical action in the 70s, not like now when it's has a gourmet ghetto and a lot of people wearing beanies with propellers on their head. But it is really an unbelievable time we grew up in. I mean, it was during the Cultural Revolution, you know. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Totally awesome.
We need a little of that back, I think. But yeah, we went to a free school called Bay High School where you didn't have to go if you didn't want. There was no attendance. There were no grades. And, you know, like you made your diploma in art class when you felt like you were ready, you know?
What an awesome place.
It was. It was an amazing place to grow up in, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I think that time in Berkeley was particularly unique. I mean, it was just really unbelievable.
And what drew y'all to music? How did you meet each other? How did this band begin?
We were thrown out of math class together, not at Bay High School. This is earlier when we were going to regular school. And so we'd get thrown out into the hall, and that had happened a few times. I don't know what, we got talking about music, and John used to come over to my house, and my sister had a big 45s collection, you know, and my brother was a musician already. He played in a band called Earthquake. And so, you know, we just thought, well, actually, we needed a band for the school dance, I think it was our first gig. So we thought, well, we better put a band together for that, and, you know, that'll last about a month. Right, and somehow it kept going.
Yeah, we're still waiting to play that gig.
How old were you when that happened?
13. We'll let you do the math. That was 1970.
I won't do the math, I swear.
Can I just say one thing? We are really proud to be on the same poster as John Waters. That's all I have to say.
Man, it's so. I mean, you know, when he started talking about what he was doing in 1970. We were at those midnight shows for his movies. I mean, you know, John Waters is like superhero for us at those days. I mean, it's incredible.
This is so exciting. It's your first show back since COVID.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be up there again?
Oh, it's totally fun, as always. But meeting John Waters, we tried not to gush all over him, you know.
I mean, it's really hard, you know, because people are coming up to him and going, this, you know, but, you know, he was so influential on us as kids. You know, just all his movies and just his persona.
He's an incredible all-around artist. Who are some other artists that you really looked up to that you thought were really great?
Do you know Luke Christie? Look him up. Fantastic falsetto. Oh, it's on camera now, so. And, I mean, really everything that was on the radio between, like, 64 and, you know, the mid-70s, that's what we were into. You know what I mean? We were listening to the radio all the time and just buying albums when we could, and people used to go to each other's houses in those days just because, like I knew that John got Aqualung by Jethro Tull, so I was over there immediately, and we just sit down there and listen, you know, like 3 times in a row to the whole album. I mean, I don't know if people do that anymore. Let's get together and listen to a Spotify playlist.
Well, you know, it was a much, like, really, it's a different art form, the vinyl LP compared to a CD or obviously streaming. But you were making these sort of 15-minute little operas or whatever you want to call them, you know, because we would labor over the order of the songs and how it played through and all that stuff. And you'd put it on. And when we would listen to records, it was the same thing. We'd put on the first cut, listen to it through, do it again, you know, just sort of absorbing it all. But as far as influences of the Rubinoos, I mean, the obvious ones, you know, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, that stuff, obvious. But the not as obvious stuff, I think, would be like Jonathan Richman, the Jackson 5. I mean, huge influence. All kind of soul music really was really very influential. I mean, it may not sound so much like it, but it was.
But that's a lot of where we were trying to get vocals, like the Impressions, if you ever listen to Curtis Mayfield stuff.
And then, and I like comedy music.
And comedy music.
I really like comedy. Like, my favorite, when I first single I ever got was called Purple People Eater. And I played it, like, I don't know how many times a day. But one day I came home and I couldn't find it. And I go, Mom, where's my Purple People Eaters single? And my mother goes, I think it's the only time my mother ever lied to me in her life. I don't know. I could not stand it anymore. I don't blame her.
No.
And then another huge influence on the Rubinoos, Frank Zappa.
We just finished doing an acapella version of, do you know the album We're Only In It For The Money? Well, we finished the recording part, but it hasn't been mixed yet. But we've done the whole album acapella. For better or worse, I don't know. A lot of people are telling us not to do it, but it was our favorite album when we were, like 13, 14. We'd come home every day from school. We'd just sing along to the whole thing, all the sound effects. And also my dad picked up the album cover and went, these are the ugliest people I've ever seen. And so I was like, well, it just went up a notch in our book. I mean, Dad hates it.
Dad hates it. It's even better.
It's even better.
That was also, Tommy borrowed a sitar, an actual sitar from a friend of ours. And so like at from school.
Yeah.
And midnight, he's down at his living room playing sitar. And his dad wakes up, comes down. What was he saying to you?
What the hell is going on down there? Because I had tuned it like a guitar, or I tried, and I was playing Purple Haze. I was trying to play Purple Haze on it. It was about 2 a.m. or whatever. My parents are really tolerant, I gotta say. I mean, other than that, you gotta find where the breaking point is, right? And Purple Haze on the sitar, that was it.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that y'all recorded an acapella album, for better or for worse, because your harmonies are so tight and your vocals are so incredible. Well, that's the first thing I noticed seeing you live. I was so surprised and astounded.
Well, it was tough up there, but we're basically the first band. They were troubleshooting the stage on us, so it was a little tough.
We're used to that.
But just to see that lady over there wearing a Rubinoos hat, it's all worth it.
Well, my last question for y'all, sad to say it, but do you have any upcoming shows or releases that you would like to promote that you want people to know about on Psyched Radio San Francisco?
We made an album that came out right when COVID hit. So I'm going to consider that to be a new release, which is our record. It's called From Home. It's produced by Chuck Prophet.
And co-written
a lot with Chuck. I mean, I think it's a really strong record, and I enjoy it.
We just think we hibernated for 3 years.
Yeah, so I sort of consider that to be new product. And then obviously we told you we will have our acapella version of We're Only In It For The Money by Frank Zappa coming out some point in the future. And gigs, we have
August 30th.
Healdsburg, we're playing in California. Healdsburg, California, August 30th. I think it's a free outdoor show. What do you do, Scarlett?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I front my own band, and I have a radio show on Psyched Radio San Francisco and La Bestia Radio in Mexico City as well.
So, what's your band?
My band is called Foes, F-A-U-X-E-S. It's like a psych rock band.
Foes, good name. Yeah.
Are you the lead singer?
I am.
All right.
Let me hear it. Let's hear
Sing us a song.
Sing us a song.
Do you guys do any covers?
Yeah, we do. We do
Okay,
Helter
tell me one of
Skelter
your
by
covers.
the Beatles. This line, and I stop, and I turn, and I go for a ride, and I get to the mine, and I see you again!
Oh.
One more time.
Wow.
Yeah! That's it. It was amazing.
All right.
That's all we needed. That's
all
all
we
we needed to
needed.
get it right.
I think that's all we get.
1970s California, baby. How does it get any better than that? Thanks for tuning in to Psyched Radio
All
San
right.
Francisco. Mosswood Meltdown. Mwah.